Welcome back to the 12th episode of Unstabled. I'm, of course, Jeff Steckel, head coach, co-host of Unstabled, and this is Alex, of also co-hosting this, and of Chaotically
Go
Intolerant.
Celtics. Go Celtics.
But they got
Friday night, baby.
But yeah, help us out. We got to go through the housekeeping. We didn't gain too much ground in our subscription since the last one, so help us out. Subscribe, drop some likes, shares. Do the same over at Chaotically Intolerant, and of course on this AFC South show. Welcome back.
All right.
We hopefully have some good stuff for you. I figured we'd, of course, go through our throwback player. Maybe we'll go through the restructuring of the divisions if we got time.
Yeah, we can do that. That's a good idea.
That'd be a fun activity.
Not the United States map yet.
I didn't pull it up. And maybe, I think we'll also do, ranking of where we think we'll fall at the end of the season in our position groups. Of course, one being will be the best position group, 32nd the worst. I think those will be some fun activities to do. So, without further ado, let's get right on into it. Throwback player, who you got, man?
All right, I'm going the namesake for the greatest tight end in college football, John Mackey, former Baltimore Colt. He played in the Super Bowl with Johnny Unitas. He actually had a very famous play. It was a 75-yard touchdown pass from Unitas to Mackey that was tipped twice, which I think at the time was a record for longest passing touchdown in a Super Bowl. So John Mackey, former Baltimore Colt, Baltimore Colt is mainly what he's known for. Great college tight end as well. So
he's a Colt man. Who cares? You can omit the Baltimore part. He was a Colt.
He's a Colt. Yeah. He had 20 yards. He had 20 yards per catch as a rookie with 7 touchdowns.
Nice. Man, I was thinking about going the tight end way. I mean, I did it with Dallas Clark last week. I did the whole episode was a Dallas Clark episode. I was thinking about Ebron just because of how Andrew Luck, how great he made him look that season, and then
fuck Eric Ebron. Eric Ebron.
I was thinking about it, but I was like, no, I'll go a different way. I don't know how many people out there know. I was in a car crash a couple months ago. Got whatever. We had our appointment today, and I found out I got my herniated disc. It sucks. So with all the injuries and pain that I've been in, I kind of wanted to make my throwback player someone that kind of went through. I mean, it wasn't back issues, but a lot of injury issues. But I all the talent in the world. I thought he was fantastic when he was on the field. So I'll do my throwback player as Austin Collie. I thought he was great. Like, he was a great route runner, reliable. On the field, he was one of Peyton Manning's favorite targets. He was just always on the receiving end. The definition of, right place, wrong time, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, man. There was one of those hits, because I think he got a concussion, and then like a week later came back, had a great catch, and then had another one. Like, Jesus, dude. It wasn't his fault either. It wasn't Peyton's fault, because sometimes, a quarterback will lead a receiver into a bad position. It just, he was running up the field, caught it. The defenders were coming in, and all 3 of their helmets hit. The way that he dropped, I was like we might have just, that was horrible. His body just dropped. The ball just dropped. It was terrifying. It really was. But, man, when he was out there, he was a lot of fun to watch. I really thought he was going to be the next, Welker, Edelman, one of the next great slot-type receivers. And it just kind of got derailed with this shit. But, so shout out, Collie. I know you're probably not famous much outside of Indianapolis, but you got fans, man. If you're one of those 18 subscribers, come on the episode, man. So, I guess with that, did you have something?
Just highs and lows, I guess, before we jump.
Yeah.
I mean, this one's going to be tough, so let me think. All right, I'm gonna go. Andrew Luck's first win. I want to say
Oh
it was
boy.
against the Minnesota Vikings. Um, his first game was against the Chicago Bears, of course, and we got our ass kicked against Chicago. I think that was Jay Cutler's like first year in Chicago as well, maybe his second year in Chicago. Um, I think it was a comeback as well against Minnesota. So go a high there. That was a great moment for the Colts, and it was like, okay, like this guy can play. He can ball. Um, so yeah.
Go ahead and do your low. Like I said, I've been really busy this week. I hadn't put a lot of stock into this yet. After all the pain, I've been thinking
Yeah.
about a lot about Collie, but that was I'm trying to think.
I'm gonna go my low. I'm gonna go just the entirety of the 2011 season.
Mm,
Because that was just so bad. That was like one of the most like it was like a cold water on your face. It was like holy shit. Like okay, we're really fucking horrible without Peyton. Like we can't do anything. And we actually almost beat the Patriots that year. Hilariously.
mm.
The Tom Brady Patriots, which Brady should have lost because the one time we beat Brady since like I don't even know 2008 would be in a year where a win would hurt us and like hurt our future as a team. So
Man, beating the
thank God we
Patriots would have
lost
been
that
fun.
game. By the way, thank God we lost that game. We might have had RG3 as a
Mm.
quarterback over
I
Andrew
don't think
Luck, and
we would.
Andrew
I
Luck
don't
could
think
be
that
a fucking.
would. I don't know if the end result would have been any different because it kind of happened to Luck too. It just took a little bit longer.
I mean, we had we had a lot better years. I would
Yeah.
say we had more playoff years. Like
Yeah.
RG3 was, his tenure there was like super short. It was like 3 years.
Mm.
Which was like when I saw that, I was like, oh, I felt like he was there
I
like
mean, dude,
5 or 6 years.
he's like running back out onto the field. He had like a torn ACL, and they still put him back in the game. Like, what the fuck y'all doing to this guy?
Yeah,
Jesus.
nobody knew how to manage a quarterback back then. What was going on there? But
Oh,
I,
it
I
was
think
terrible.
Luck probably would have ended up getting hurt anyways because Washington's field is just horrible. That was the Joe Theismann, famous for his broken leg. They tore
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow's ACL in his rookie year.
Like, how
Um,
many
I want to say
season-ending
Mahomes
injuries
got
do we
hurt
need
there
to
too.
have at this field before we fucking change something?
How many super famous? I think I want to say like maybe Bo Jackson got hurt on that field too, and that was like the end of his career. That could have
It
been
wouldn't
it
surprise me.
then. There's a
Big guy,
map out
fix
there.
the
There's a
field.
map of like injuries here. Jalen Hurts almost got crushed by that pipe that
Jesus.
broke like a couple years ago.
It's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, since you mentioned that whole 2011 season, and I was thinking about going that way, I'm going to go a different way. It's kind of, I guess, bittersweet, kind of high and low kind of tie into this one. You know, it was Andrew Luck. They brought in Chuck Pagano, and then Chuck Pagano had, the cancer diagnosis. And one of my most fondest games was, not fondest games, but a game that I really remember was that big Chuck Strong game against Green Bay. The
Yeah.
Colts beat them. They did it. They had the Chuck Strong posters all over the place. So I guess I'll use that as my highlight. I have a Packers fan, and he's very vocal about it. So it was fun.
Yeah.
They only won because of Chuck Strong, and I'm like, no, they won because your team sucks. Fuck you.
We're historically pretty good against Green Bay
Yeah,
too.
but I mean, it was in Indianapolis. It was, it's just a whole thing. I guess the low would be, and I get it. Bruce Arians went off to go do other things, and they kept Chuck Pagano. But if you kind of have hindsight of that, you really wish that we had kept Bruce Arians. Like, I
Yeah.
understand that Chuck Pagano is coming back from cancer. There's no way in hell they're going to fire him. That would have never happened. But
Yeah.
hindsight, maybe kept Bruce Arians. But I feel like at the end we did let the better coach go, and I would have liked to have kept both of them. Just to kind of,
Mhm.
well, Pagano isn't it, and Bruce Arians is great, and we had both on staff, but yeah. So I guess I'll use that as my low. Just kind of tie the two into each other. So I did have I guess a question. It's kind of sounds off the wall, but it'll lead into something. I was driving on my way into work, and a song came on, and it wasn't Zombie. I already talked shit about that one. Move on from that one. So I was on my way in, and I thought my radio was going out. It was whatever. It sounded kind of shitty, and I turned up the volume, and I'm like, oh, it's Rage Against the Machine. And no, I hated them before they even went all whatever political in the last few years. I've never liked them. Can't stand the dude's voice. Not a fan. I can't stand Tom Morello on this AFC South show. I actually did a joke. This is when I first started. We had you might remember his name. He was a shitty lineman, and they changed his wiki entry into it said his name, a human traffic cone for the Indianapolis Colts. I can't remember the guy's name though. Like they went into it, changed his whole entry. It was the funniest damn thing.
Who was that?
I can't remember his name, but he was terrible. So I did a whole thing about Tom Morello and his shitty guitar solos, and I heard Rage Against the Machine, and I was like, okay, if there was one band that I could just erase, they might get my first nod. Like, just never liked anything about it. Just like I would have whatever his name was. You know what?
I
It's gonna
just
bother
want
me.
to see.
Colts lineman, human.
I just want to see who's the guy.
Human.
Because I remember that.
Cone. I should have done this because I did a whole rant on him. Human traffic cone. It should be one of the first things. I'm not seeing it. Was it Braden? No. What was his name?
No, Braden Smith was good.
No, he's good. Yeah, I don't remember who it was. Colts. Oh, lineman. Human traffic cone.
It was one of our.
God, it was terrible. I can't find his name anywhere.
One of our draft picks, I think. It was. Was it Eric Malham?
No. Maybe I can find it here. It wasn't Fries. No, particular large, I spell. I mean, we're gonna have some dead air, but I gotta figure out this guy's name. Damn, what was his name? Oh, he was terrible. And it wasn't Danny Piner either. I can't find it. Oh well. It's gonna drive me insane. I know they went in, they changed this whole Wikipedia thing.
You remember Bjorn Werner?
Oh God, he was terrible. Yeah.
He was so bad.
Nothing about him. What I'm typing in is coming up. Dang it. Wiki. That wasn't it. Worst trick plays.
Oh, can't find it. I'm not going to be able to find it.
Hold on. I think it was during the Jeff Saturday tenure. So that was, what year was that?
2022.
Colts lineman 2022. Recap. If I see the name, I know what I'll say. We're having a lot of downtime. Pryor. I think it was Matt Pryor. Matt Pryor, the human traffic cone. That's what it was.
Oh, I feel so bad for him because he got torn apart.
I'm so happy.
I hated him.
Found it. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, if I could just, I've never liked Rage Against the Machine. They came on, it sounded like it was static. I thought it was my radio. Now it's just one of his shitty guitar solos. And I was like, man, if I had never heard of or seen Rage Against the Machine, my life wouldn't be any different. And they're obnoxious.
Yeah, he was
erased.
so bad.
So I guess my question is to kind of relate it to the NFL. If there was one player that you could just erase, who would it be and why?
Well, the funny answer is obviously he just had his number retired by the New England Patriots, Tom Brady. But I'm not going to do that. I actually have an immense amount of respect for Brady.
Fuck you, Tom.
He gave a great speech, too. His speech was fantastic. It was like one of those like run through a brick wall speeches, like something you need to hear like to get out of bed in the morning. It was a fantastic speech. He was like, do you know why we play football? Because football is hard. And he was like, you know, going to lift weights while your friends are at the pool when you're 14. That's hard. And it was just, run through a brick wall. But I guess, who would I remove? I think, yeah, I'm going to do this. Trent Richardson. Get his ass.
What? Those are bad memories.
Worst running back. Like there's like a famous video of him just running into the back of the lineman, and there is like what looks like a 20-foot hole that could fit a car.
Like, I have never seen a hole that big in a line where it's just, and it was daylight ahead too.
I know
it was wide
I would
open.
Die if I was a running back in the NFL, but I could hit that hole.
Like I would have been able to see that. That was funny. I remember that very well. And they even had like the diagram and everything. Like, look at this thing. And he just slammed into like where everybody was. Like, Jesus Christ, Trent. That's why they call him 2-yard Trent.
When you were talking about the Green Bay game, I just remember what the stadium looked like, and I remember what like the field looked like when we scored a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And I was like, when the Colts are good, that Lucas Oil Stadium is fucking awesome. Like the crowd is awesome. Just the look of it is fantastic. Maybe that's my homerism, but I feel like Lucas Oil is like when the Colts are very good and there's energy, it's a great stadium. But when the Colts are horrible, that stadium is like embarrassing, especially because when we're playing on like, on a Sunday at 1:00 and the sun shines through and we have all the shadows all over the field. Like it is like as equally cool when we're good, but just like horrible and embarrassing when we're bad, because it's like, wow, this field looks pretty good. Why does this team just fucking suck?
Lucas Oil is one of the higher ranked stadiums. It's one of the it's a great venue. I've been there a few times. It's gorgeous. It's phenomenal. It's clean. A great stadium.
It's the brick is awesome. Like that connects to the to the Indy 500 there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But like, there's just when we're bad, for some reason, it feels like we always have embarrassing things that happen.
I have a problem with like just energy in the stadium, though. Like I get when you're on offense, like Peyton Manning had them trained. Like it's I don't know. I mean, hopefully, all 18 of our viewers have been to at least one Lucas Oil game. And when they're on offense, they don't even have to, do the thing. It's just everybody's trained and they're just quiet like church mice.
Denver didn't know how to do that. Denver didn't know. There's some videos of him going like that. We were his trained little puppy, and we bowed at every command.
Yes, Peyton.
Of Peyton Manning.
Yes, God, Peyton.
Oh, jump off that cliff? Yes, Peyton.
Yes, Peyton. We'll all jump off the roof of the stadium. Yes. So I had some time to think about it, and it's not because there wasn't talent there. It's not because there wasn't. It was more of the antics on the field, and I'm gonna say Cam Newton. Like he had a
Cam
stellar,
Newton?
he had a stellar
Really?
campaign. He had a stellar campaign. And I know I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but there was a game I remember. Carolina running up the score. He jumps into the end zone, scores another touchdown, does his whole Superman jig, and a defender took exception to it, pushed him, got in his face, and you could see Cam Newton mouth to him, "If you don't like it, stop it." And I think it was that same game, maybe it was the next week. He takes off on a run and gets fucking level. He pops up and he's getting all pissy, and it's like, what a like it's just that attitude of when things are going my way, I'm going to showboat, but when I get shown something, I'm going to cry about it. I hated that attitude, hated it so much. And when you, like, I'll never make it to Super Bowl, so I'm not going to take any of that away from him. But if I make it and I'm in that position, and there's a fumble, there's no chance in fuck that I'm not diving at the ball. Like I don't care what happens. I don't care who's coming at it too. I'm going to do everything I might never be back in this game. So I'm going to do everything I can to try and win. And when he backed away from the football with Von Miller coming in, I just that's a me, dude. That's not a I'm here to win titles, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't like. I don't mind shit talking. I don't mind it at all. So if you're going to get up and do your thing when you score a touchdown, yeah, you fucking stop me. I dig that attitude. But when you get up crying like a bitch when someone does stop you, that I don't like. So I don't know. He was always, and now when he goes on these podcasts, man, it's just bro.
I was attacking this at more of a like football, like Richardson was just horrible. I don't know who he is as a person. I have no clue.
Trent Richardson
I was attacking
terrible.
it in a different way.
Oh, I was just
trying to
going
think
over
of that too.
Well,
Trying
I
to
was
think
in
of
the whole
someone
thing
I
of
just
Rage Against the
hated.
Machine being obnoxious, so that's the direction that I went.
I hate.
I mean, there's no denying he was a very talented person. Like he was, I'm not taking that from him. I'm just saying, like, attitude, personality wise, bye.
I really used to hate Jameis Winston because I was a Florida fan, and I'm not a big fan of Bucks fans in general. They're just, I don't know, they're very fair. As a Floridian, I just hate the native fan.
They're Bucks fans.
Yeah. But I'm like,
pre or post
but Jameis is just so funny now. Like he really kind of came out of his shell in New Orleans. I feel like,
yeah,
or just like the internet kind of came out a little more. He's hilarious. Could say AB, but like I don't want to get rid of that first part of his career because he was still really good even when he wasn't crazy.
I mean, you don't even really want to get rid of him running off the field in the middle of a game. I mean, I'm sorry, that's fucking funny. Like he's got the CTE, whatever it is, his rants are retarded.
CT ESPN. That's his thing now.
Like that running off the field, taking off his jersey. That shit was funny. I'm sorry.
I don't even know how he comes up with CT ESPN.
I mean, it was entertaining and all that. I enjoyed that. That was funny.
I think if I could get rid of anybody, Ryan Tannehill. Get his ass out of my face.
I didn't expect that one.
Ryan Tannehill, I think it's just he's the Tennessee Titans quarterback. So, like I'm
Miami
gonna,
for a bit.
Miami too. I think we lost a couple games to him as well in the Luck era. I can't remember if we did or not, but I'm going Ryan Tannehill. Get his ass out of here.
I'm neutral, but I care less. Good old.
He's actually not even I don't know who he is as a person. He seems like a perfectly fine human being.
I'm sure he is.
Like get his Trent Richardson or Ryan Tannehill.
I mean, even Trent Richardson, I've heard is a good dude. Just a terrible NFL running back.
Just I wish you were not on the Colts. I really wish.
I'll admit I was one of the ones that was like, man, that's a good fucking trade. We got first round pick Trent Richardson.
Oh yeah, I mean that's.
He can't run for more than 2 yards. All right.
I think it would be a good trade, right? Like that's a perfectly reasonable take.
Take it back. I was wrong. I was wrong in that one. I guess we can. Would it be faster if we ran through our, I guess, position, where we think they'll rank at the end of the season, or do you think it'd be faster to restructure the divisions?
Let's do restructuring the divisions first and see
See
where
where
we're
that
at.
lands us.
Yeah, I gotta get
All
my
right.
notepad out. We're gonna take this shit down. We gotta get a. We're gonna fix the NFL right here.
We're fixing the NFL.
I gotta pull out a map, though. Gotta look at a
That
map
isn't
of
what I
the
asked for.
U.S.
That isn't what I asked for either. I'm trying to pull it up, and it's. Here we go. That's what I wanted.
There we go. I want this big picture. Okay, so, well, are we assuming we're keeping the NFC and AFC?
Yeah, we'll keep the same NFC, AFC, north, south, east, west. Because I don't think the Colts belong anywhere near in a South division.
Hell no.
No.
And we can switch like an NFC and AFC team, though.
No. Let's see.
In the East,
Oh man. I kind of would it water it down if you put the Patriots and the Giants in the same? That's a fun rivalry.
yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, did I mute? Hope I didn't mute. Whoops. My headphone just died.
Oh boy.
I think I don't know, and this is tough. All right, so I think you have to split it up where the northernmost cities are. So Boston, like I think as far northeast as you're getting.
Boston, Seattle, Buffalo, Detroit, Green Bay, and Minnesota.
So those should probably be the northern. I feel like those should be the northern divisions. But I don't want to put like Seattle there.
I mean, that's very west too.
Yeah. I think Minnesota is like your cutoff part.
I mean, I like that division as it stands though. Minnesota, Packers, Detroit, Chicago. I like that. I like that. That division makes sense to me.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do that.
And then with that being said, you can't really put Seattle in with Buffalo, New England.
No.
Could you imagine that schedule, that traveling? Holy shit.
That would be horrible.
Yeah. I think then we're going to keep that.
I think in the north, you want to stay.
And that really just gives you Buffalo, New England, Cleveland, Pittsburgh.
Well, Buffalo, New England, and then the two New York teams would be in the north.
So you'd have, the two New York teams in the same division. So you'd have your NFC and AFC North. Yeah, I like that. You need your what? East,
Yeah.
AFC, NFC East.
So you would want
Really, Eastern teams are
the
Philly,
Panthers.
Panthers. I'm going to call them the Redskins and the Ravens. I kind of want to keep the. I like that rivalry with the Cowboys and the Eagles. I kind of would like to keep them in the same conference at least.
Yeah, they'll stay in the same conference. I just realized, yeah, NFC
East.
South and West. We're not going to have anywhere for the Colts to go.
Well, if we plug them into, let's see, because we could go.
The East?
Why not group them in with? I mean, because
Because really, we make
there's
more
the.
sense for the North.
No, I'm saying that there are other northern teams. East would make a little bit of sense. That kind of leaves Kansas City and Denver kind of out in the dry. Denver maybe somewhere in the west, but yeah, maybe get rid of one of those. Put the Colts and the Patriots in the same division, and knock out maybe the Jets, and drop them into the East instead of the North.
Yeah. Are you writing it down?
I thought you were, man.
I have some of it. I have the
I'm on the
NFC.
map. I'm on map duty.
Hold on. So what's our AFC North?
AFC North. Thought was
I think it was
is the Bills, the
Pats.
Patriots, and the two New York teams.
I feel like maybe we should put the. I feel like maybe we should put maybe at least one of the New York teams in the East, and put the Colts there.
It'd be
And then
fun to
where's
see the Colts and Patriots in the same division. Like drop them into the AFC East with I don't know Patriots. I mean, a lot of people like the Patriots Jets, so maybe Patriots Jets Buffalo and Indy, but then that kind of leaves teams like Pittsburgh and Cleveland out too because they're not really South either.
Yeah.
It's weird because of how that whole grouping works, and they're all just kind of a
Or
clusterfuck over there.
or we could do Pats in the East, Eagles in the East. Baltimore should be in the East too.
The Colts and the Ravens in the same division, that'd be fun.
That would be fun. No. We would put Indy in the North with Cleveland, and Buffalo would be in there as well. And then who else?
I mean, if we're doing so, if that's the NFC North.
Indy.
Maybe throw in, maybe do Indy,
Cleveland,
Cleveland, Buffalo, and the Patriots in the AFC North.
Do you feel like Pittsburgh deserves to be in the North? It's hard to break up the AFC North. I don't
I'm just
love
saying
doing
because
it.
in that AFC North, I kind of want to see the Colts and the Patriots in the same division.
Yeah, because like they are like
or
further.
or people like that Cleveland Brown Steelers rivalry too. So maybe
Yeah.
do like Colts, Bengals, Bills, Patriots in the AFC North, and then you would group, I guess, the Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, and like either the Giants or the Jets in one of the Easts.
Okay.
Like that the I guess AFC East.
Yeah, AFC East. So in the North, I have the Colts, Bills, Bengals, and Patriots. But with replacing Cleveland, I think Cleveland has to be in the North because Cincinnati is further south than Cleveland.
I just like keeping Pittsburgh and the Browns in the same.
But I think the Bengals and Steelers is a big one too. They'll be fine. They'll survive. They're gonna finish in the same place anyways in their division, so they'll play each other every year. In the East, say
Hold on, who do we say for the AFC North? Colts.
Colts, Bills, Cleveland, and the Patriots.
Okay. So then that would keep. So then we'd have to go to the East. Now, put like
Cincinnati would be there.
since let's do what AFC East first.
Yeah, the
So
East.
keep the Bengals or do the Bengals, Ravens,
Yeah, Ravens.
what,
Give me
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh and then the Giants. No, the Jets.
or the Jets.
Oh, you still get Baltimore, Pittsburgh too.
Yeah. So then that leaves the for the NFC East. That leaves the Giants, Eagles, Washington, and I feel like you kind of have to put Carolina in it then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Carolina's the replacement. Because Dallas doesn't belong in the
Dallas doesn't
East.
belong there.
They don't. It's so dumb.
And then that kind of brings us to the South.
Yeah, Tennessee's
And
in there.
well, I want to see. I feel like the Texans and the Saints, because they're right. I mean, it's Houston and New Orleans. I feel like they should be. Maybe that should start the AFC South. And then I don't have a problem keeping it Titans Jaguars.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it
Well,
staying just switching out.
oh yeah, because then
Colts
Miami will
with
be
the
in the
Saints.
NFC South then.
Yeah,
So hold on, we're doing. What are we doing? We're doing.
that was the AFC South.
Yeah, Texans.
Saints,
Who?
Texans, Saints,
Saints.
Titans, Jaguars,
And
which would
then
leave the NFC South to be the Cowboys,
and
Falcons,
then Falcons.
Buccaneers, and Dolphins.
Okay. And then finally the West. They do pretty good with the West.
Yeah. I mean, it has. Let's see.
Seattle.
feel like.
Rams.
Wait, am I missing a team here?
Out west?
I got 7 teams out on the West. Who am I missing? Oh, the Chiefs. Okay, we didn't assign the Chiefs. That's where I'm fucking up. Okay.
Yeah, Kansas City should not be that far over.
It is what it is, man. maybe just kind of keep it Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders, Cardinals. That way it's not too far apart. And then that leaves you 3 LA teams in the that leaves the Niners, Chargers, and Rams. And of course Seattle way up. Yeah, there's no real place to put the Chiefs. They're not really south. They're not really east. They're not really west.
Yeah. They don't really have a place to go.
It's just the Chiefs in their own division. We'll just have one team in the Midwest.
Well, they've owned that division for the last 5 years anyways, so it's not a shocker.
Would it be more fun then to have like the Chiefs, Broncos, Niners? Just to give them kind of a run for their money in that division,
and move Vegas out of there,
and clump Vegas in with, I don't know, shift them over with Vegas, Cardinals, Rams in Seattle.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
So you'd have the Chargers, Niners, Broncos, and Chiefs.
Chargers, Niners. Yeah.
I like that.
Chargers, Niners. Hold on.
I mean, Texas in general would love to have Houston and Dallas in the division. It's only 4 hours apart, and you could go to, 2 games a year and see both teams with not much effort.
So I assume, but you said Arizona goes over to the other west, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because you're going to have the Chiefs, Broncos, Niners. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I have the NFC North with Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, and Chicago. The AFC North with Indy, Buffalo, Cleveland, and New England. The NFC East, Giants, Eagles, Washington, and Carolina. The AFC East, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and the Jets. The South is Dallas, Falcons, Bucks, and Miami. And then the AFC South, Texans, Saints, Titans, Jags. West, Arizona, the Rams, Seattle, and Las Vegas. And then the AFC West is Kansas City, Denver, San Francisco, and the Chargers.
I dig that.
That's pretty good.
That makes sense. Indianapolis doesn't belong in the South. I don't know what the hell Dallas was doing. Like, you're going to have it by division where it's by in direction.
Also, don't have a team named the Cowboys in the Eastern.
Not in the South.
Yeah, like they're not either in the South or the West. Are you serious?
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Come on, NFL. We made the divisions for you. Fix it. It's not like it would really change anything in the NFL.
It wouldn't really change all that much. If anything, it could make it a little more competitive.
Yeah.
Because
it's not like adding the Niners to the Chiefs.
Some divisions don't pull their weight.
Like a restructuring might help. Oh, man. So, you run out of time, or you got time to look at position groups where we think they'll fall?
We can do a little position groups.
All right. Let's look at the offense. I feel like none of it's easy. We're in June, so we're all blindfolded throwing darts at the dartboard. So I guess we'll start. Where do we think our offensive line group will stand?
like throughout the league.
Yeah, just if they'll be the. I mean, you don't have to say. Well, I think they'll be 17th. Like you don't have to be exact, but
I think
top
they'll be
5,
top 10.
10, top 10.
I think they'll be top 10.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty safe bet. I mean, I think they got some good dudes, and from what I'm hearing, they've got in the draft they got some good people there too. So
And
they might have the
some big,
replacements.
some big offensive lineman ranking didn't have Nelson in the top 10, so they might.
And I think PFF had him as one of the top ranked guards.
Yeah, but he's gonna have some motivation, I think, from that too.
Yeah. I think they all will, man. I mean, they're getting all, they're coming back, hopefully very healthy, and they're getting older.
Yeah,
Time is against them at this point, so that hopefully adds a little bit of fire under everybody's ass. Like we're running out of time to get to the big dance, so make a push. But yeah, I agree. I mean, they were really good last year, even some injuries, but yeah, I think top 10 is a pretty safe bet for the line.
Yeah.
What about let's see, wide receivers? I think this could go. It could be interesting. I feel like it all really depends on how rookie AD kind of transitions to the NFL and how much of an impact he can make. We all know what Pittman can do.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we want to group our tight ends into this. I mean, they're pass catchers. I feel like you kind of have to. So we'll just kind of throw wide receivers and tight ends all together. If it's Jelani Woods and Pittman and AD comes up, man, this could be a really fun team. Really fun team to watch.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're up there on like the, Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I don't know if it's a top 5 group. I'd say they're better than at least like top 15.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all riding on Richardson's shoulders, I think, as well. So, I would say you really coming into this year, you have to be top 10. I think, like to kind of hold up our some lingering expectations.
Yeah, for sure. I really like that AD pick, and I hope that they use if he does take the number 2 spot, which I think it's a strong chance he will. I'd like to see Alec Pierce in some gadget roles, maybe in that kind of Debo role, like lighting up some in the back because he's fast as shit. Like, he's quick. So maybe line him up every once in a while with JT in the backfield or something. Just do some janky gadget plays. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him utilized because he's fast. But especially Downs, man, he was so good last year. This could be a really great group. Like you said, it really just depends on Anthony Richardson, which we can, I guess, just go ahead and rank our quarterback room. And you got to take into account the backup quarterback, and there's even questions right now that Ellinger might not make it as the 3. They took I can't remember his name. They took an undrafted free agent. Can't remember his name, but they're saying he might even beat him out for Ellinger's number 3 spot.
Jesus.
So Ellinger might not even be a Colt after this,
Training camp.
Yeah. It could be. I can't remember his name. Is it number 3? But you kind of have to take into account all the other teams back up too. Like, are they as good as Flacco? Where do you think that Anthony Richardson will fall? Some are saying he's primed for a breakout year. I think he is. Maybe like he's a dark horse MVP candidate. I think that's jumping the gun a little. He's going to be the best player in the NFL. We hope so.
Yeah.
But that might be jumping the gun just a tad. But given Flacco and I think the potential is there for them for the quarterback room to be at least in the top 10. I mean, athletically, he's a freak. So, and if he gets hurt, I think we have one of the best backups in the league. So, I'd say top 10.
Yeah. I'm going to say we might be just a bit outside the top 10. Because you got to think who's probably going to knock you out immediately. Who we already know is better than us. Mahomes, Allen at the moment.
And Josh Allen.
Burrow if he stays healthy. Lamar. Who else? Probably Herbert, I would say. That's fair.
Right now, yeah. I mean, we don't have enough to look at. Yeah, and probably Stroud in that group too.
Stroud right now. I know Jags fans are like begging me to say Trevor Lawrence. I'm not gonna fucking say it.
I'm not saying fucking sunshine, man.
I'm not saying shit. Can
Sunshine.
I say Russ?
Who?
Russ in Pittsburgh?
Sure, it's not gonna be Fields, man.
I mean, I think Sean Payton was the problem in Denver over Russ because they did start to play a lot better towards like the back half of that last season.
I can't say it was him because they had Nathaniel Hackett, and man, Russ looked like shit. Russ was terrible.
And then Sean Payton, I hate Sean Payton. I think he's like a bad guy. Like,
that's fucking stupid joke that he made. He's like, that's Indianapolis. Well, douche, that was 15 years ago, and you haven't done a fucking thing since either. I don't. He took a jab at the Colts, but he was asked about the onside kick and what he thinks about the new rules. Like, basically, you can't really do it anymore. Why don't you ask Indianapolis what I think about the onside kick? And his little creeper laugh.
I'm not even salty about. I've put that out before where I've done like a video and I was.
That was brilliant.
Talking about Sean Payton, and I was like, yeah, I think he's a bad guy. And someone was like, well, you're a Colts fan. You're automatically going to think like, no, I think paying your players to hurt other players makes you a bad guy.
Makes you a bad coach.
That makes you a bad person, like just a bad person.
Yeah.
Like that's unacceptable.
That's
and then the
shitty.
way when he came into Denver taking shots at Nate Hackett like that is like so beyond unprofessional. I would understand like
unnecessary. You won the job. Like
I would understand like a young first year head coach maybe making that mistake, and it's like whatever. He's just being a dickhead. Like if Nate Hackett said that about Sean Payton, I would be like, whatever, it's a dickhead. But Payton's been there. He's been here long enough. Yeah. He knows not to say that. There's just no reason to say it, and he said it anyways.
Yeah, kind of a prick.
And then he gave up 67 points to the Dolphins or something like that, like 3 or 4 weeks later.
I bet Hackett was like, you were saying, asshole.
I think they also lost to the Jets in that stretch.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was that no, I'm thinking, did they play on like I think it was a Thursday night game, I thought. Or maybe a Monday night game? Maybe I'm thinking of Denver and Buffalo. That really weird one.
Either way. I like where the quarterback room sits so long as Richardson stays healthy. I like what we saw. It wasn't a very big glimpse. It was a very condensed viewing of him, but he flashed. I mean, everyone was worried about his accuracy, and he was throwing 60%. You can't complain about that from a rookie. So
5 touchdowns in 4 games where he didn't even finish any of them.
I mean, they were fucking smoking the Texans. So if he comes back and plays like that, I've got no concern about it. But he's got to stay healthy for sure. But yeah, if that happens, I'd say top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they can stay, that's kind of where they were on pace until the injury started. But yeah, I would say top 10. What's left? The running backs.
They got to be top 5 at least, like maybe top 3.
Gonna have to be. I obviously JT's JT. We know what he can do. We've seen what he can do. He's again health. We saw him and Richardson together for 2 plays,
Yeah.
something stupid like that. So it'd be nice to get them together a lot more. You have to be very aware of Jonathan Taylor. He's always a home run threat. Same thing with Richardson. So you've got to protect both of them running. Of course, he's got a cannon for an arm. Them two on the field should make this offense much, much better.
Yeah.
With that running back room, I'm excited to see, Evan Hull. I don't think he made it out of training camp last year, if I'm not mistaken, before he got hurt.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he played the regular season.
No, he did. I think he did a little bit.
He got hurt early then. But
I can't remember.
Like, he's another fast guy. Like, he's another good pass catching back. I mean, Trey Sermon might be kind of penciled in as the 2, but again, I see Evan Hull coming in on pass catching downs. I don't know if he's necessarily the third down grind out a 1 yard run. I don't think he's that kind of back. I mean, that's what you got Sermon for. Maybe JT could probably get it too, but Sermon's more of your earn the tough yards kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I really like the combination they have at running back. I would love to see them in the top 3. And again, you kind of have to look at who else might be better than them. I mean, you've got to put McCaffrey. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it'd be a disappointment if they're not like you said, top 3. Just kind of looking at. I mean, he's one of the best backs in the league when he's healthy. So if they're not in top 3, that's kind of a disappointment. But I like the combination of running backs that they have after him too. So yeah, top 3 is a great hope. I like it.
Yeah.
Overall, Super Bowl for the Colts, calling it. It'd be nice, man. It would be nice to put a ring on Quentin Nelson and Kelly. They've been around forever, stuck around DeForest Buckner. Yeah. I guess we can do the defense in the next show where we think they'll rank. But, man, Buckner, I remember, that lost season with Matt Ryan. He had no reason to play as hard as he was, no reason to be on the field. He was hurt. He's still out there playing, still chasing running backs from behind. Like, this dude is still giving 100% in the fucking lost season. At the end of it, he didn't need to be out there. He probably would have said, "Hey, coach, my arm hurts. I need to sit out." And they would probably, "Yeah, it's fine." Like, nah, fuck it, dude. I'm gonna go out there and hit some people. And I liked Buckner the minute he got here, but when I saw him out there in that lost season, he's one of the unquestioned leaders of the team. And we got to put a ring on these guys' fingers, man. Got to do it. Hoping this is the year. It's our year. I don't mean to sound like a Cowboys fan. Fuck the Cowboys. I don't know if you got anything else. I think we'll save the defense ranks till next episode. It's getting a little late. But thanks, Alex. Appreciate your time. Yeah. And of course, everybody watching, all 4 of you, we appreciate your time. If you made it to the final hour, make sure you drop a like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, especially if they're Colts fans. If they're not, just spam us so you irritate the shit out of them. Go over to the AFC South show, do the same if you don't mind. And of course, the same for Chaotically Intolerant. We really appreciate all the support, all your views. We really do appreciate it. And until next Friday, be good people. Y'all have a great week and a great weekend.